The next tip, or rather the next prompt I'm going to share with you, is quite interesting. We can put our own spin on it, but like the previous prompt, we need to use it wisely, okay? What's this prompt about? Well, this prompt helps you find the most optimal way to achieve the result you're after, okay? For example, let's say we're looking to shoot a dog walking down the street. So there are two versions. One version where you're going for perfection, where it'll tell you which shot would work best based on your context, which filters to use depending on the time of day or the lighting conditions. Obviously, it won't be super specific, okay? I'm just imagining you'd go find a dog on the street, or if you have one, grab a friend and take him for a walk and shoot a few takes. And then there's the optimal option, the quick route, where you want to get 80% of the result by doing only 20% of the work, because that's how perfection works, unfortunately. The reason so few achieve it or make it there is because you have to do 5 times more work just to get a small improvement that sets you apart from everyone else. That's also true. But in this case, I'd say, hey, look, if you're only willing to put in 20% of the work, you can try using an AI generation model to create dogs or find a video in a stock footage library that's available, and that's it. You save yourself the work. Of course, obviously, if we're shooting a film that's going to be released in theaters, well, we'd better shoot it ourselves, right? But if we're making a YouTube video, I can't go out on the street every time I want to film something because it's just not cost effective, right? So it's also for that. This prompt isn't just for being lazy, but for being lazy in a smart way, for those kinds of moments where you say, hey, how can I make this perfect? But also for those moments where you say, hey, I need to achieve this goal, but I can't afford to spend that much. How can I do it? Well, here's this prompt. All right, the prompt is slightly long, okay? I'll show it to you in two parts. Here you have the first image where we have form A, form B, and so on. And then we have the second part, which starts from 3. So there you go. Now we have the entire prompt. I've already shown you the whole thing. All right, what does it do? Well, it helps users identify that with 20% effort, like I said, you can produce 80% results. We can change these stats. For example, let's say we don't want to put in much effort at all, so we put in 5% effort and get 30% results, and we're happy with that, okay? Obviously, be a bit realistic. Don't ask it to give you quadruple results with 5% effort, because that's hardly going to happen, okay? Well, and here are the rules. First, it greets you, asks you questions, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's try it out. We're not going to read the prompt either, since I already explained it. So let's test how it works. Okay, let's ask it, for example, this. I need a video of a dog. Let's see what it tells me. All these types of questions, I haven't mentioned this until now, but you do them with the pro version, okay? Basically, since we're looking for that extra twist, we want the answer to be right, or we can use reasoning perfectly fine. No problem at all, okay? There we have it, all right? I had to change a small phrase. Don't worry, you'll already have it changed. But basically, at the beginning, I ask it to never generate images or videos and to always give me the output in text. So I need a video of a dog walking down the street. It says, oh, hi, I'm the 80/20th optimizer, the smart, lazy tech guy. What other task are you feeling lazy about today that you think we should automate? Well, it says task analysis, get a video of a dog walking down the street. It says option A, the perfectionist, a 10 out of 10. Produce a handcrafted, realistic video with total control over lighting, framing, dog breed, and environment. Well, that's what I said, right? Step-by-step guide, pre-production search. Plus, I really like how it gives you the steps you need to follow for this action. Pre-production, find and hire a dog trainer with a trained dog that responds to commands on camera. Pretty good, right? Hadn't thought of that, huh? Location, scout the city to find the perfect street. No trash, good natural light, all that. Equipment, rent a cinema camera, prime lenses. Okay, method B, the smart lazy approach. Get 20% max impact with a high-res 4K or 1080p clip that meets the visual requirements without leaving your chair or touching a camera. It says, go to Pexels or Pixabay, royalty-free stock video sites, or generate the image with AI. And it walks you through both options step by step. But on top of that, it gave me the prompt to generate the video and everything of a golden retriever. Okay, now I'm going to change the message. We're going to ask for the same thing. I tell it, I need a video of a dog walking down the street, but I have no budget, zero expenses. So now it'll probably tell me to grab my phone, try to find someone who has a dog on the street, or use my own dog, right? And that's kind of the funny part, you know? I mean, of course, obviously, if I ask for something so general, but if we start, let's dig into this. I need this dog. I need this exact dog, and I can't hire a dog trainer. Well, maybe they'll tell you to go to like a class where they train dogs, or I don't know where there are dogs, you know? But, well, you get what I mean. Look, Guerrilla Filmmaker mode, Perfectionist mode. Creating a 100% original piece, assuming the cost is zero money-wise, will be paid with your time, sweat, and production skills. Hit up your circle of friends to see if anyone has a photogenic dog. Scout your city for the perfect backdrop, paying attention to traffic and the sun's direction. Meet up at golden hour, sunrise or sunset for that cinematic light. Shoot with your smartphone at max resolution. Shoot 15 different takes. Use DaVinci Resolve, free pro software on your computer. Import the footage well, and then it asks you to do color corrections and stuff that maybe the camera doesn't already have that. This is a pretty silly example. Let's move to something more complex. All right, let's take it up a notch. I tell it, I want a page, and I even misspelled it, right? I want a website where people can receive a free private audio and a surprise ebook about AI optimization. They register with their email, and I give them that in exchange. How do I do this? Which is basically the page you'll find in the description, okay? Let's see where this goes, because I'm curious how perfect it'll be, right? The perfectionist approach for a 10 out of 10. It'll discuss the marketing. It says total control, custom design, proprietary hyper-optimized infrastructure, and luxury editorial level content production, okay? Hire premium hosting like SiteGround or Kinsta and buy a custom domain. Use WordPress, get a premium theme, and design the page pixel by pixel using visual builders like Elementor Pro. So he mentions marketing. Hire a professional copywriter to write the perfect sales letter after weeks of market research. Rent a studio, buy an expensive condenser mic, look like the one I have. To record the audio. He mentioned the same one as me. Hey, so far I'm on board with, I haven't hired anyone to make the landing page, but I did study it quite a bit. Write the ebook from scratch, send it to a proofreader, and hire an editorial designer to lay it out in Adobe InDesign. That's where I draw the line, sorry. That's a no from me, sorry. Well, look, we're here to work the 20%, but look, we're here to work the 20%. It's true that writing the ebook stuff, the ebook with AI has killed me a bit, you know. Google Docs versus Google Drive to lay out the ebook as a PDF in seconds and host the audio for free. Well, here it falls short a bit because the ebook can be saved in MailerLite, but the audio you'd need to store in Google Drive. And here it even gives us the prompts, which is really interesting. The audio 5 minutes, record the gift audio. It tells you how to do each thing. The website 20 minutes. Look, if you make your first landing page in 20 minutes without ever having used MailerLite, you're either a genius or you're a genius. Well, I couldn't at least. In 20 minutes. The text 5 minutes. Look, but you really have to not care, right? What you put in there. God, my goodness, 5 minutes for text. The automatic delivery 15 minutes. Look, if you already know how to do it, yeah, you do it quick. The text in 5 minutes, no way. But the rest, yeah, once you have the text, you can put it together quickly if you know how. What should you completely ignore? Buying domains. Just use the free subdomain that MailerLite gives you. Man, I have to say I really liked it, you know? I really liked it. Obviously, if we think he's being too lazy, we can tell him that today. Instead of 20/80, 20% effort and 80% results, how about he puts in 60% effort? And we try to get the most out of it. It's true that with the time estimates, well, he got motivated. He didn't get motivated. If you do it wrong, yeah, it takes an hour, but work at it a bit and you'll see that hour. Come on, 1 hour turns into 2, then 3. But anyway, it's interesting. The approach is interesting. Me, for example, I didn't make the website with WordPress. I made it with code, with PHP and HTML. And you'll say, oh, but that's way more complicated and all that. Yeah, but if I use WordPress, every time I want to do something, I'll have to pay, like he said himself, buy a paid theme. And I said, it doesn't make much sense to buy a paid one. But well, here I am, because in this case, it's not the first time I've made a website and all that, and I already knew a little bit. But the truth is that the answer he gave, I could tell you it's 90% correct. Now it's true that if we're going to make a decision, like the perfect decision, we could take the step-by-step it gave us and send it to a prompt asking, hey, is there an alternative to this that without compromising quality? Yeah, if we don't like the step-by-step, of course. So anyway, that's it for this GPT, this gem, this prompt, whatever you want to call it. I hope you find it useful and subscribe. See you in future videos. Thanks so much.